Quintito Javier. The title of today's message is Praise to the Good. It's chapter 41. The New Testament quote is from Paul to the Romans, chapter 2, verse 10. But praise, honor, and peace to anyone who does good. Maliciousness usually leads people to wrongful interpretations of the good if they do not stem from their own particular religious confession, their own work environment, or the familial community of which they are a member. Self-centeredness makes them believe that anything wholly good can only be done by them or by theirs. This is one of the worst characteristics of the personality. The good emanates incessantly from God, and God is the Father of all. It is through good persons that the Most High toils against the sectarianism that has transformed his earthly children into consummate combatants that commit pointless and bloody acts. No matter how forcefully spontaneous teachings from heaven convoke, which means call together or summons people to realize this truth, they continue their offensive, threatening, and destructive attitudes towards one another. Even so, the Father blesses the good wherever it is to be found. It is crucial that we do not focus on individuals per se, but that we observe and understand the good that the Supreme Lord sends us through them. What does people's outward appearance matter anyway? How does their nationality, name, or color really concern us? Let us grasp the message they have brought us. Even if they are devoted to evil, they still deserve the good that we may offer them. But if they are good and sincere within their area of service, then they deserve peace and honor from God.
Let us then together pray. As we're preparing ourselves to receive the treatment and the help that we need, we feel you, dear Lord of life, Father, Mother of all of us. We feel your presence, merciful and loving, inviting us to renew ourselves. We want to be good children of God, of yours, co-creating in patience and harmony. May the messengers of your name, the spirit directors of the Spirit Society of Virginia, receive our gratitude for preparing this environment for us, for leading us into greater understanding today, and recharging us with renewal. We feel the joy of this moment and visualize everyone who has their name in the book of prayer. Everyone who is connected to our hearts receiving a shower of blessings, inviting them to healing, harmony, true health, integral health. Feeling the presence of Master Jesus himself amongst us. His loving smile, His firm look, encouraging embrace. We ask for your permission, dear Lord, to begin our meeting and service this morning. As we feel your protection, we thank you for granting us the permission and giving us the guidance today and always. And so be it. All right, our children are going to have a wonderful session, and our teens as well, with Miss Luciana and Miss Daisy. We hope you enjoy it. Meanwhile, we'll be here. Okay, one second. All right, so we have a duet. You have to stand up.
Seriously?
Yeah, take the. Virginia's gonna help us. But we have to share the camera, Virginia. You have to be on that side. Yep. She's gonna help us because she helped me put together the slides. If they wanna go inside, they're ready for it. No, they're okay here, right? So she's gonna help us because she helped put together the slides. She helped translate a few slides. So we said, let's be helpful at the beginning, then you go inside to help inside, right? We're gonna talk about a big topic today. Mamma mia. It's the school of marriage. You're not there yet, right, Virginia? Thank
Don't
you.
even tell me about
I'm not ready for that either. Please. Right? We're not there on your end. Right? I'm there, but you're not there yet. So let's see what we're going to talk about. So interesting, right, Virginia? That we get to know that marriage is a school. You like school?
Yeah.
All right. So now there's another school in the future that nobody teaches us anything but Spiritism. Spiritism teaches us a lot about the school of marriage. It's a school because it's about learning. When we were reading parts of the Spirit's book by Kardec, we got to know that Kardec addresses this, right? Right here. Yeah. It's the, well, no,
Okay.
we have two screens here somewhat. Hold on, friends. Right here.
Okay.
Need to match. Okay, we're gonna begin again. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
And you press the X on the other one?
No.
Okay.
Right here. There you go. All right. Serious. Very serious. You try as many times as you need.
It's hard to
You see somewhat it's going there, but it's not going here. No.
What is this?
Okay, because we're going forward here. Hold on. Hold on.
Oh, jeez.
Okay. Let's see if now.
That one.
Okay.
Yeah.
To make it easier.
Duplicate.
There. Okay. So the School of Marriage. Don't ask me what's happening because only God knows.
Okay, there.
That's how it is. That's how it is, right? It seems like we're playing, but that's how marriage is. You think it's gonna go one way, it goes the other way, then you try again, and again, and again, and again. But you never give up. And in Kardec's book, he asked this question. It was 1857 in the which book?
Spirit's book.
Yeah. And then he asked the question, and then we got this answer. He asked, in this proposal of the union between two beings, that is a human thing. Marriage is a human thing. It's not, God didn't create the institution of marriage. We humans created it. And what does it represent? And Kardec got this answer from the spirits, right, Virginia?
Mm-hmm.
What is it?
Marriage represents the progress and the evolution of humankind.
Yeah. And this progress that he's talking about, we'll see later what it encompasses. We're living at a time on earth where the institution of marriage is very challenged, where the institution of marriage is almost being abolished in so many ways. Many people trying to go backwards to this state where there's freedom and you can do whatever you like. And you can get married today and let's say unmarried yesterday, tomorrow, then married again 10,000 times without the realization of what we're doing. You click on Netflix, right, Virginia?
Yeah.
Mamma mia. And we see 10,000 programs, right? Like Married at First Sight.
Yeah, that was like a very crazy program.
Why?
Because it happens that there's like a bunch of like affairs between the people who are doing the program.
Yeah.
It's horrible.
Right? You go there, you get married, and then you're having an affair. It's like, what's happening here? Why you're there? And then you have so many programs, so interesting that nowadays we have so many programs on Netflix talking about marriage. In this immense crisis that we're living on earth, the world is seeking to understand how to make it work. And they hire experts. They get together. They matchmake, right? Yeah. Did it work?
Not all of them.
One in many, right? One really worked.
1 in 5, I think.
1 in 5. Yeah. So the success rate's not very high.
In the program Married at First Sight, it's so weird. But then in one of the people who were matched, one of the guys actually contacted on the marriage day the girl's best friend she knew for years, and he almost dated her.
That's very strange. And you may be asking, should we allow children to watch with our presence? Of course, there are no crazy scenes there. If there are, you skip. But it's important because when do we talk to children about marriage? When they are children. Because if we talk to them when they're about to get married, it's too late. We're not going to say it's going to save anything, but at least they will know more. Unlike ourselves, when we got married at first time, we were clueless. because our parents said, do you like them? Do you love them? Okay, go ahead. No, that's not how you talk. It's not about loving, liking. It's about many other things. Marriage is about eating a ton of salt together and finding joy at the end of the day. So.
That means it doesn't taste very good.
Right? So we need to talk. See.
Also, I just like to watch these programs because I like watching them.
Yeah, right?
Mhm.
It's fun. But to see how many people, remember when we watched the Indian matchmaking?
Oh yeah.
It's so interesting. People come and they have a list. What do they call it?
Criteria.
The criteria, right?
And then
see
they have to say, oh, what height do they want? What, like,
the height. Does that matter if they're tall or they're short?
no.
It's like the height, and then even the matchmaker looks and says, is that going to make a difference? If they want to travel, at the end of the day, doesn't pay any bill.
Where do they want to go?
Where do they want to go? And if they
like beaches.
like beaches, when's that going to save a marriage? Oh, I like to go to the beach. Me too. We're going to be happy forever. That doesn't exist. So this is what people are doing. And they want, I want somebody who has a degree. Right. Right. As if people who do not have a degrees cannot make a happy marriage. So we're seeing that the values of people are really twisted. And that's why Kardec continued asking questions that are so current, asking what's going to happen if we abolish marriage? What is it, Virginia?
And abolishing marriage would be a return to the humankind's infancy.
Why? Let us brainstorm why that could be happening. Why, if we abolish it, we go back to humankind's infancy, meaning to when we were closer to animals? Isn't that what animals do? They mate, they go their places. They mate and they go their places. And that's how many people want to be that primitive. It's all about sex, as we see in these programs. When the groups get together, they ask, and then have you already got there? It's like as if
it's easy.
As if it's easy. It looks like it's not that easy, right?
Yeah.
So I guess the next steps, I'll take over and you'll help Miss Luciana, right?
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you for helping. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for helping. Thank you. She helped. Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. So it's important to discuss with children when they are like Virginia's 8. That's a good age to talk to them about these big things. Of course, we're not going to overwhelm them. This program, she watched a few episodes. She didn't watch every episode because it's not even good for us. You skip, go to the end and see what's going to happen. But it's important to talk about these things with our children, even before they start dating. They don't think about dating now, thank God. Thank God they don't think about dating and getting married, because at 8 you're not supposed to think of these things. But this will happen at the end of the day, even for them to figure out their parents' relationship and see that there are different types of relationship. And at the end of the day, that's why we are reborn, to fix ourselves on how we deal with our relationships. What's the number one thing or reason why we reincarnate? To be better in relationships. There's nothing more important than this. So marriage is one part of it. It's not the only, but one part of it. And though being married is a human thing, but it's a human thing, meaning animals don't do it. We do it. So it's progress. It is progress. Animals do not get married. They have no consciousness. Even if they choose a mate in some species, they don't have consciousness like we do. So we can compare ourselves with animals and see, though we are very close biologically, consciously, we're very different. So being married is a great part of our evolution. Thank you. And we'll see how. And abolishing marriage in our lives, in our society, means we're going to regress. It's going to be chaotic.
Who's going to raise the children?
Yeah, who's going to raise the kids? And that's the most important part. John DeRosa mentioned the most important part. Many people get married just thinking, I like you, let's stay together. But is that the reason why we are married? Just to be together? Let's stay together. No, that's a fairy tale. That doesn't happen anywhere in the universe. You get married to build a family, and family is about having children. In the Spirit's book by Kardec, it says clear cut. The couples who want to be together and not build a family, selfish, selfish, selfish. Why we're together? On Friday, Dr. Joyce Magalhães from Canada was sharing her very story about a patient. This patient, as an obstetric anesthetist, she gets to know of all the cases of the labors that are to come. And there's this one patient, she is pregnant, and the doctor said, this child is not going to be born perfect. And she says, I don't mind it. I want this child. And the doctors were pushing for abortion. And then Dr. Magalhães said, come on, it's the patient's choice. She said, I don't care. I will receive this child anyway. We spiritists know that every child comes with God's blessings. Every child is blessed. So are every parent. And this woman had a daughter already who was very erratic. She very unsettled in her life. But when this new baby was born with Down syndrome, but very welcomed in the family, her daughter changed, became calmer, more harmonious. Why?
Kids are so beautiful.
Yeah, and also because often the spirits who are around us, living with us, creating issues, if they don't reincarnate, we're going to spend our lives being harassed by them. So it's better to have a friend in our arms than an enemy on the other side. Let's mark it down. And marriage is about building a family. It's amazing that you watch all these programs. People tell me, Vanessa, have you watched this? No. So I go there and watch. Because when you do counseling, psychotherapy, you need to understand where people are. And people think that marriage is about the two people who are getting married. And that's a fallacy. Because marriage is about building a family. If the two together are not aware that they are together for a greater thing than themselves, we're failing from the first day. That doesn't mean we need to get children to have children in the first, second year, third year. But we need to have a plan as we get married. Having no children is a commitment to helping humanity.
Right.
And not helping humanity once a week, once a month, once a year. Devoting our lives to humanity. Just like Mother Teresa, Divaldo Franco, Chico Xavier, and great humanitarians in the world. They didn't get married, but they married society and embraced every child that came their way. If we're not going to be Mother Teresa, then we better have our children. If we can't have our own, we better adopt or foster or do something else. Because having no children is going to be failing in our reincarnation. But Vanessa, do everybody who reincarnates having their plan to have children, not necessarily their own children, but helping the children of others if they don't have their own children? But helping the children of others is like devoting your life day in, day out, like you parents do at home. You wake up, your children are there. You sleep, they're there. Helping the children of others or helping others mean you're going to wake up helping them. You're going to sleep helping them. If we're not doing this, we fail. Nobody is reborn to say they're going to get married, live a long life together, go to the movie theater, go to concerts, go to restaurants. Nobody has that in their reincarnatory plan. What do we have in our reincarnatory plan? Milestones to be achieved. Just like a teacher that has a curriculum at hand, the milestones that children need to achieve in that grade. Each reincarnation is a new grade. Milestones to be achieved. If we don't achieve it, we have to repeat. But that's going to be more difficult. More difficult. As you can see in the book And Life Goes On, an amazing book. And there's a movie about it. And Life Goes On. If you haven't watched, let us know. We'll send you the link because it's on the internet. And you can watch the movie. You know where it is now, John? The movie And Life Goes On? Where it is?
No,
Maybe YouTube, I think.
remember
Or
that.
Prime Video. Yeah.
I know YouTube, probably.
Yeah. Like the No Solar and Life Goes On is available. It's worthwhile watching or reading the book. Reading the book's always better. For those who speak Portuguese, the YouTube has also it in Portuguese version, but the English version is there as well. And it talks about, at the beginning of the book, we'll see Evelyn and Ernest meeting at a hospital because they're sick. They are married to different people. They're different age groups. They get to know they have the same illness. And then they go to their surgeries. They don't come back to the physical realm. They discarnate. They find themselves in the spiritual realm. Evelyn's husband stays, and Ernest's wife stays incarnated. And that's how the book begins, to show to us that they meet, not understanding why they are meeting again in the spiritual hospital there, in the spiritual hospital here. But the story unfolds, and at a certain point, Evelyn and Ernest are allowed to go back and visit their families. She's surprised when she got to know that her husband, Kyle, was having an affair with a woman named Vera, just like Virginia said. It happens. Having an affair with a woman named Vera, and she's distraught. She's thinking, how come? She goes back to the spiritual colony with Ernest, and they talk with instructor Rebus. And the instructor lays out a lot of explanations about marriage, especially chapter 17, Matters of the Heart. And we'll bring some of this information now for us, as well as information from another book that will hopefully be translated soon by our team, Vida e Sexo, Life and Sex, by Emmanuel. So the information that the good spirits bring is the following. They say, as we can see in the Spirit's book by Kardec, marriage encompasses fraternal solidarity. Kyle, the husband, was not sincere. He was not honest. He failed. In that first marriage, he failed. He cheated on his wife. He failed in the first thing, which is this fraternal solidarity. How we're going to do something to others that we don't want to receive. You want to cheat on somebody? Think, what if they cheat on you? That's it. Simple. The golden rule. Oh, and people explain, they justify, but I want to have sex, they don't want to have sex, so I have to find sex somewhere else. Is that how we resolve things? Very animalistically? Because that's animal level, right? Like, they don't give me sex, I find the sex somewhere else. It's very instinctive, showing we're still splitted, not truly human. We're still more animal. So we need to coach ourselves to another level. We've been there, done that so many lives, right? Who are we? None of us on earth, as Jesus said, can possibly cast a stone on anybody. Because if we haven't done in this life, we've done in previous lives, right? But the good spirits say to us, fraternal solidarity. Fraternal means looking at our partner as if they are our brother and sister. And that's weird for some people. They say, if I see my husband or my wife as a brother or sister, I can't do anything. Well, but we're talking about feeling alike, feeling like we're children of God, feeling like we're here to progress. And giving a hand, solidarity, giving a hand to the person in what they need. So I need to identify. This is called empathy. If you watch those programs we refer to, it's good. We watch. They say what they need. I need somebody who is this. I need somebody who is that. But they forget what the others need. What do you need? Can we really match? But not in what I need, but in what you need. And then you look at me in what I need. Another reverse. And then can we come to a consensus? That's marriage. If we are with somebody who is constantly saying, look at me, you're not giving me what I need, then it's a baby in your arms. And then if you're going to get married to a baby, be prepared to change the diapers. Because it's not going to be beautiful. It's not going to be easy. In the book, Life and Sex by Emmanuel, he says that marriage, there's a specific chapter, chapter 7, about marriage, that talks about how marriage helps us live these dynamics in mutual help. So marriage is about mutual help. Marriage is about developing life values. So Linda Popov, the author of the book Family Virtues, she talks about how we acquire family virtues. It's important if the couple says, We don't have the same religion. That's okay. As long as we have God in the home. Because if we get married without God, it's going to be hard. So we need God, and we need a plan for our development. So if you don't have the same religion, but at least we have the same principles, values. We need to have an ethical, moral outline for us. Meaning, we're going to practice patience and tolerance and kindness and compassion, etc., etc. So that book, The Family Virtues Guide by Linda Popov, is a good book for families who want to develop these life values. Or we're going to see what we're seeing in our schools nowadays. People without religion, children without religion. And it's a mess. Bullying escalates. Meanness is off the hook. It's surprising to see how children are mean nowadays. Where are they learning this? At home. Because parents have no values anymore. Nobody wants to talk about religion anymore. It's as if we're cursing someone if we talk about God. And then without God, without religion, without values, how can we develop a family structure? Never. So that's where we need daily. This is daily, daily. Let's say our child comes home, and that's very natural. They come, they have their mood, and they say, oh, this friend did this to me. Okay, how did you feel? X, okay. So what did we learn in Spiritism? Forgiveness. You ready for forgiving? Thank your friend that she's teaching you lessons on forgiveness. She's not well, because if she's doing this to you, she is not happy. But if you're happy, why are you getting contaminated by her? Come on. That's how it is. That's life. People are going to go their way. And then we say, wow, it doesn't feel good, but it's their content, not mine. I don't buy into that. I'm not going to be contaminated by it. We're at the end of a pandemic, hopefully. And the question is about contaminating others with our emotions. Learning how to shield ourselves emotionally too. And that's where we learn in the family. In a marriage, Emmanuel says, there must be reciprocal responsibility. How many people say, I want a responsible partner? But are you responsible? Are you? Are you accountable? Reliable? So you want the other one to be there, to do this, that, and the other, but you are free. No, no, no. It's reciprocal, mutual responsibility. And this is very grave. In the book Sex and Destiny, a few weeks ago, you know, Carol was here, Paloma, talking about sex and responsibility. There is an institute in the spiritual realm that teaches us about balancing sex. And it shows to us the aftermath of our craziness. It shows to us.
I found this on the web.
That's okay. That if we're not responsible for what we're cultivating, there are consequences. No punishment, consequences. Because Emmanuel says to us, nobody hurts anyone without hurting themselves. And that's what we need to tell our children, our teens. If you are irresponsibly cultivating a friendship, a relationship without commitment, you are hurting yourself. A lot of cancer nowadays is the byproduct of these emotional lesions we create in ourselves. Breaking people's hearts may sound funny, but it's deadly. Because at the end of the day, when we're breaking people's hearts, we're creating disharmony for our own selves. Everything we do, we think, we say, stays recorded in our spiritual body. We can't run away from our very reality. So if somebody does anything wrong, they are hurting themselves. That's why we don't need to take offense. Jesus taught us that. Jesus is not hurt by what we did to him. Physically, the body is gone, but he's reigning sublime in this planet. But we're still here. Because what we do stays with us. Action and reaction. And Emmanuel says a little more. In any case, it's necessary to recognize that there are no unions, whatever they may be, without reasons in karmic principles in which our responsibilities are espoused in common. When people say, I don't know why I got married to that person, so crazy. We got married and then divorced and then have no idea why we got married. That means we need to do a lot of therapy. We know nothing about ourselves. Because in life, nobody gets together without a reason. Karmic principles means we get together based on previous lives' experiences. And then Evelyn and Ernest are talking to Instructor Ribbon and asking, they didn't have happy marriages. But why do unhappy marriages happen? Why? This is a new take on it, because usually we blame ourselves and we feel, oh, I'm a bad person. I only attract the bad. I don't deserve any happiness. We need to go another level to understand that that's not how we break it down. The Instructor Rebus replies, reincarnation is recapitulation. We reincarnate to redress things that we left undone in the past. Many couples in the world are composed of spirits who meet again to carry out particular tasks. At the start, their sentiments juxtapose in terms of affinity like clogs of two wheels that complement one another to make the mechanism of marriage work. So passion. Oh, we were so in love with one another. And people blame each other. How come you're not in love with me anymore? Hey, hold your horses here. Hold on. Are you still in love? How can you blame somebody? Are you? Why were we in love? There is a reason. It's purposeful. We need to be together. And thereafter, they perceive that it is essential to polish up other parts of this living mechanism so it can produce the hoped for blessings. So the goal is, the good spirits allow us to gravitate to one another, which is not by chance. For us to work on a few elements. Nobody is going to be married forever. That's a sure thing. Okay? So nobody gets married in the laws of God to be married for eternity. That doesn't exist. We get married for a reason, for some time to do something. Have we accomplished it? It depends. If we have gone through this demands, wow, I have to fix this slide, or we're not going to be able to see the most important part of the slide. Okay, now we will. Okay, recapitulating, really. To really make it a blessing, we need understanding, mutual respect, constant work, and a spirit of sacrifice. No marriage will survive if we don't understand, have mutual respect, constantly work on it, and sacrifice what? Our ego. It's when Valentine's Day is on and we are childish thinking, oh, let's have a romantic dinner together. And then the wife comes home, or the husband, or the partner, whomever the person is, comes home and says, man, my day was terrible. I just got laid off. And then we childishly think, just destroyed my Valentine's Day. That's how childish we are. And then we tell our colleagues at work who don't care about us, by the way, because they don't care. Then we change jobs and we're never friends again, for the most part. But then we go there and confide with them in a childish manner. Oh, how was your Valentine's Day? Terrible. Why? Because my partner was laid off. Oh, no, you didn't have dinner. This is children talking in the adult bodies. Children. I can't believe. This is how childish we are. Because God's plans are, let's bring them even closer together this Valentine's Day. Because by being that coziness of the marriage, will soothe everyone's hearts. And that's through marriage. It's not about dinner. Like we see in these programs, people talking about taking pictures of their food to put on Instagram and Facebook, whatever they do. Why? Why we do this? Why do we do this? Because we're still very childish. Who cares if we're going to eat a meal at this restaurant or that and receive flowers or eat chocolate together and even have sex? Better than that, we're in a crisis, but we're together. God is so loving that says you're going to grow stronger together in this crisis. Now love's going to grow. That's how love grows, in crisis.
Remember,
Right?
I remember when my wife was still working, and it was her last job, and the lady that she was working for thought she was really good when she started, and a couple of years later, she didn't like her. And last day of work, she just didn't know she was going to be the last day of work. She went in, she got an evaluation, she came back out, and she told me, no, I quit. She let me go. I said, great. Now you got a new start, honey. Let's get going. And, never looked back.
There you go. You were there together. You overcame it. And that's the beauty of it. More memorable than any dinner, anywhere, any trip, anywhere. It's when we overcome the crisis together. We're in the school of marriage to grow. And we don't grow by being in the comfort zone. See, any growth requires effort, push, sacrifice of our whims. Oh, but I want it so badly that it's good when our children cry because they're frustrated. It's great. They're going to grow. Because when everything is fine, we don't grow. We grow when we're pushed. One day, we won't need to be pushed anymore because we learned the flow of life. If we want a thermometer to see our spirit of sacrifice where we are, if you wake up every day, thinking of the needs of your loved ones before yours, you're good on the spirit of sacrifice. But if we wake up thinking of my to-do list and we start talking to family members like this, get out, I have things to be done. We don't even see our loved ones. We don't see what they need. We just say, I need to get this done and I need to do this. Our spirit of sacrifice is very, very small. But the day we wake up saying, let me check on everybody's need. And then free time, my need. That doesn't mean we're not going to take care of ourselves. We're not talking about not working out, not eating properly. We're talking about emotional needs. Okay? We're talking about paying attention to the needs of others. This is not spoiling our family members. It's not that fantasy need, like I need a new American doll. No. Or I need a new play date with a friend, or a new car, or a new house. No, we're talking about emotional, spiritual needs. So instructor Ribas is sharing with us that the school of marriage is going to be successful when we work on those subjects: understanding, mutual respect, constant work, and spirit of sacrifice. That's why we're reincarnated. And he complements. And this is one of the most beautiful part of it all, because we think that to be in a successful marriage is about loving that one person and then building a family, but keeping that person as if the person is the God in our lives. No, it's not. He says we must understand the concept of love outside the limitations of sex. Since the marriage union, although sublime, is only one of the manifestations of love per se. The laws of God says that there's law of reproduction. We have to reproduce. We have to actually. Vanessa, that's so orthodox. No, the spirits don't say we have, but we should. And if we don't have it on our own, we're going to regret. We're going to regret because we're not reborn to live a life for our own. We need to expand our capability of love. It's not only about the spouse. One particular man or woman may find in their spouse the ideal type. However, after marrying, they may feel more intimately connected to their mother or father. And sometimes they will find a stronger bond in one of their children. In love, affinity is what really counts. This is not about sex. It's about love. True love. How often we love our spouse and then we have our child, then we find a different type of love. And then we have other children, and then we find a different type of love. And then we have the children of the heart, because there's no difference in biological children, adopted children. No difference. According to Spiritism, our children are with us because they are meant to be our children. And that love is the most important part. It's our affinity. We don't have to run the same blood in our veins and arteries.
Don't have the same color.
Or same color. No. We just need to feel. To go back to the book and Life Goes On, we're going to see that later. Vera and Kyle get married thanks to Evelyn. She overcame her own limitations, inspired the couple from the spiritual realm. She inspired them to remarry. Kyle would remarry, right? Vera was single then. They get married and they have a children. This child is another story in the book that is fascinating to see. Tulio reincarnates. The baby is the reincarnation of a man whom Kyle killed in his previous life, in Tulio's previous life. Read the book, it's a teaser. Or read it again. And we're going to see that that's what marriage is all about, to build a family. There is a line of spirits in the spiritual realm helping us and also awaiting their opportunity to be here. If our parents thought about not giving birth to ourselves, none of us would be here. None of us. So of course we say no to abortion. Of course we say no to family planning that prevents children from coming along. We need to plan. We can choose 1, 2, 3, 4, 10 children, 20. It's up to us. Biological, fostered, adopted, but having 0 children is only for those who are missionaries. If you want to be a missionary, we'll support you. If you want to have a children, we'll support you. And we know we support one another, but that's what marriage is all about. To create this foundation in mutual respect, reciprocal responsibility, as Emmanuel says, and in understanding and the spirit of sacrifice. It's so good to wake up, look at ourselves in the mirror and see. I remember the first day I looked at my hand. I gave birth to Virginia, I was 41. So a few years later, I got this aging marks in my hand. And I go to my doctor and say, what's happening to me? You're a mom. I said, oh, really? I didn't know it came in a package. But you age. You really age, Mama Mia. You age. And when you look at yourself, you say, great that I'm aging in love. I'm not aging because I'm drinking every day or using drugs or being careless. I'm aging because I'm loving. That's great. And then you say, well, great. I'll use some cream and keep loving. The love cream, right? That's how it is. At the end of this book, you'll find out that Ernest and Evelyn surprisingly found love in the afterlife. That's a series you won't see on Netflix. Only in André Louis books. Unless they make this series on Netflix one day, we hope. We hope. When people are a little more serious. When people ask us, as we wrap up, why are not all these books already as movies? Because people nowadays don't understand it. We're getting there. But maybe in decades to come, we'll see these movies coming up. Meanwhile, let us read, share with people, share the books, and hopefully we'll understand things that till now humanity doesn't understand. The school of marriage is a blessing. Let's not give up. Let's give it a new twist and finding Jesus, our model. He married society, family, the universal family. And through this unity with Jesus, we're growing stronger. So let us stop here for a moment and open just for a question or two before we go to the passage session. If somebody who is here with us on the internet also. Yeah, Carol kindly posted here. If you go to our YouTube channel, Facebook page, she has put the link for the movie And Life Goes On, as you can see, okay? So, anybody here would like to ask a question? Because I know we have questions, right? We have questions. If you have any question, maybe your question is with somebody else who has another question. Feel free to ask a question or two. Yeah, you have a question? No. Anybody has a
I have a
question?
question.
Sure.
What about this marriage, the
The polygamic one that has many people? That's close to the animal
To
level.
the animal level.
Yeah. Thank you for asking this. There's people who want to marry 10,000 people and are married to many women, or usually it's like one man, many women, right? It's a regress. I mean, regress in the sense we're still behind. We need to evolve another level. You're right, Paula. We are not monogamic yet. In our society, we're still not there yet. Even if we don't get married to many people at once, we can feel that we're learning how to love and like people beyond sexual relationships. We're still very animalistic. How do we talk to ourselves about it? First, learn to manage the physical body. It's good to tell children and teens and feel ourselves something that Emmanuel taught Chico Xavier. Ourselves are like we're the commanders of our physical body. Talk to yourselves. Talk to them. If they are pushing you to levels because of our conditionings of the past, they respond instinctively. And then we become like sex addicts. For people who are sex addicts, we need treatment. It's serious. We think being a womanizer or having many partners is fun, but that is a disease. In mental health, we know that this is a disease. We need to be treated. So a good therapy and also spiritual treatment. There was a man who came to Divaldo Franco once, and he was married and had children. He was married to a woman. And he liked women. But once in a while, he felt this urge to go to the streets of Salvador Bahia and find a person who was what do we call it? A man who dresses as a woman. Transvestite, yeah. And have sex with the person. He would go home saying to Divaldo, I feel so bad about myself. I feel dirty. I'm thinking of quitting my life. And then Divaldo Franco saw the spirit that was obsessing him. This spirit was discarnated, was the spirit of, let's say this, in a previous life, this man who is married and doing these things was a woman married to a man. That man is the spirit. She cheated on him in any possible way. He couldn't forgive her, and now he's avenging. And his goal is really to push his woman, now in the body of a man, to the abyss of suicide. You know, these women, like men, who have a partner, not a partner, they broke people's hearts, and they think there's no consequence, all there is. And then this guy wanted to avenge. So they did a spiritual treatment that helped the man overcome those things. This is life. So it's important for us to coach ourselves to a new level, never giving up on us because we're children of God. Thank you, Paula. Anybody else has any question? Okay, we have a question here. How do we deal with feelings of failure after divorce? Whoa. Okay. That's chapter 8 of the book Life and Sex, Vida e Sexo by Emmanuel. In the Gospel According to Spiritism, we have a whole chapter that talks about marriage and divorce. And Andre Luiz also talks about divorce in many books. It's another story for another day. So let's go straight just to this part of the question. We will bring a session only on divorce. So, failure. Is it a failure or is it a learning experience? It's a learning experience. There are people who are married and are failing every day because they're not loving their spouse. I know marriages where people don't sleep together, are not getting along, but they're married. Are they failing? Yes, they are failing, though they are not materially divorced. So, not necessarily signing a divorce is failure. Failure is to be together, not be authentic, and not be loving, and not be caring. That's failure. When you look at the other person and says, we don't want to hurt each other anymore. Let's step out. It's more authentic. Are we saying, we're saying, go ahead and divorce? No. Why? Because no union happens by chance. So we can't simply sign out and say, I'm out of here. You can, but should we? No. We're going to regret not finishing what we have come together, especially if we have children. But if, let's say, we quit before we had to quit and we feel we failed, well, what can you do? Forgive yourself and say, I learned my lesson. I shouldn't have done that way. You can't go back and redo because the other person is on another page. And it's not only about that person, it's about ourselves. So it's the process of forgiving ourselves. We need to learn how to forgive and learn where we have to fix ourselves for when we have another relationship, we not incur the same mistake. There are people who do not get married in paper, but they live together. That's some form of union. And they are failing because they are not committed. They're not having the spirit of sacrifice. They're not having mutual help. So if by any chance we feel we failed, let's give ourselves another chance, because if God allowed us to make that choice, it's because we could make that choice. Though there are consequences. But nobody's going to be punished. What we need to do is learn the lesson. What did I fail in that marriage? Okay, in myself, inside of me. Okay, that, so I will work on this. Sometimes have help to work with it, spiritual help. And then if I have another relationship, make school, I enroll consciously in the school of marriage before signing the papers. So we hope this clarifies. Thank you. If we have more questions, we'll be here afterwards. Let us now move to the past, shall we, friends? Hopefully soon we'll be able to resume the physical, our side of the passes, but the good spirits are here. And there, everywhere, there's so many good spirits, right? Let us then play this virtual passes to help us. Let us prepare ourselves to be in communion with the good spirits.
curiosity. Casual visits to the room will negate its future benefits when needed. When using the room, have gratitude and show respect as you would when visiting a physical spiritual center. During the passes, silently evoke God's protection as well as Jesus. Also pray to your guardian angel. Concentrate on positive thoughts, thereby avoiding negative ones. Breathe deeply, slowly, calmly, and confidently. Always be ready to pray. Let us begin this passes session by praying as our guide and model, Jesus Christ, has taught us with the Lord's Prayer. Our Father, who is in heaven, hallowed be your name. Your kingdom come, your will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Forgive us our debts, as we also have forgiven our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Now, let us feel that small points of suffering, bitterness, sadness, anger, deception, disappear from your mind to not return. Like aged leaves that are shed from trees, let go of those feelings that no longer serve you. And gently, but most assuredly, discard them. Let the wind of life carry them so far away that they are unable to return and recreate their negative link. Little by little, your emotional tree sheds its negative feelings, becoming clean and ready for its renovation. Without the weight of those dead leaves, you feel lighter and are able to feel the gentle water of life now abundantly falling onto your physical body, spiritual body, and soul. This water cleans, disinfects, purifies, deconstructs, and tones all the cells of your body. Nothing can escape its renewing action. At the same time it is cleaning and moisturizing your body, this crystalline liquid satiates your spirit, eliminating affliction, anxiety, and unrest. Now within your heart resides a sense of calmness, cleanness, and well-being. Then the light of God emerges to warm and snuggle you, while caring rays penetrate your whole body and tenderly embrace you like a maternal hug, which brings comfort and safety to your heart. At this moment, great love warms your heart and removes the coldness resulting from any affliction. Now, your mind contains only feelings of joy and confidence. You are at peace and enveloped by a protective warmth. The heart of life offers you perfumed flowers. Then, with a grateful and happy soul, you gather their colorful petals that penetrate your whole being, restoring feelings and emotions of happiness, hope, faith, courage, and determination, helping you to regain the willingness to live. In addition to the perfume and color, nature also shares with you the best it has to offer, an infinite capacity for restoring its sublime beauty, even when struck by evil that appears to enact its end. Divine hands full of light gently overflow and spill over you like a golden waterfall of unspeakable and unknown essence. Little by little, your soul is impregnated with sweet happiness, allowing an inner renewal of the most noble and elevated purposes, that of progress and accomplishment. Showered by this sublime power, you deeply surrender to the donor of light, absorbing energy that now gives your life a new and blessed impulse. You called me, and here I am. What do you want from me today? What do you need? Ask, my son. Ask, my daughter. I am here to help. Now, ask your special request to Jesus, enumerating the problems and difficulties that afflict you. I listen to your request with love and attention. Now I count on your faith and trust in me to solve your problems. Go in peace. I am watching over you, and I will not lose sight of you. Believe in God and also believe in me. I will be with you every day until the end. Be happy. Many blessings.
Right, we wanna now deliver the water. Thank you, John De Rosa. That's weightlifting. It's a lot. So for the friends of the internet, we wish you a lovely day. Have any questions, keep in touch with us. Thank you.